And I would be curious, like, what thoughts would you have on someone, let's say, that's listening to this and they're going, I just don't feel like I have a vision. Like, what kind of steps would you give them on how they can start really building and getting clarity around that vision?
That's a great question. One of my coaches about 30 years ago gave me this distinction, which made a huge difference for me.
Yeah.
He said, getting a vision is not about getting a vision. He said, you already have a vision. So if you want to know what your vision is, you could just look at what have you tended to do? What have you leaned into? What kind of actions have you taken or not taken?
Right.
Let's just say the last 90 days. So if what you've tended to do the last 90 days is procrastinate, blame, rationalize, avoid, try, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have a vision of procrastinating, avoiding, trying, which is not doing, right? You have a vision pretty much of the status quo. And so it's not a matter of getting a vision, you already have one. And if you don't like the results it's producing, well, then what you want to do is change it. And that's almost sounds like semantics that, get a vision, change a vision. But for me, it made a huge difference because when I realized, wow, you mean I already have a vision? Yeah. In fact, we could write it out, right? We could do a whole vision board of your vision. We could do, pictures of people procrastinating. We can do fat people. We can do unemployed people.
Yeah.
We can do people that don't have relationships. We can, do a picture of a junker car on your vision board, right? We can do like little mini movies of people creatively avoiding doing what they need to do. All these behaviors that keep people stuck, you could create a vision board of all of it because that's your vision.
Yeah.
And so if you don't like the results that it's producing in your life, then change it. Because when you were 6 months old, so I'm just talking to you, your audience, like when you were 6 months old, you didn't have a vision of anything except mother's milk, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And maybe some comfort. Everything you and I have going on in our heads and our hearts today, we learned. And so if you're not producing the results that you want to produce, it is because of the story that you've learned to believe is inevitable. It's the story that you've learned to believe who you are. And you weren't that way when you were 1 year old or 2 years old or 3 years old. Now, some of the things 2, 3 years old can start to happen to shape how you're going to craft that story as a young person or as an adult, but you did craft it. You created that story. And if your story is, I can't, no one will listen to me, I've tried, the world won't let me, the economy won't let me, the politics won't let me, the whatever, my family, my DNA, whatever won't let me, if that's your story, you made that story up. And that's a vision.
Yeah.
And so if you want to start producing at a higher level, if you want to produce in alignment with your goals, then you got to change the story. And that's what Mach 2 is all about, is exactly how to do that, the art and science. And it goes beyond. One of the things that always frustrated me about, personal development gurus and coaches is, they'll say, well, you just lack confidence. You just need to get confident. Just go out and be confident.
Yeah.
Well, for somebody that's not confident, that's like telling them, okay, you're short and that's why you're not successful. So you need to be tall. Just go out and be tall.
Yeah.
There is a process to gaining confidence, and it's not just deciding to be confident.
Yeah.
It's a process, and vision is the same thing. It's an art, it's a science. And